I'm sorry. I've just tried to do this introduction 7 or 8 times. Thank goodness this one's not live. So, here we go. It appears that Armando Broja, a.k.a. to me, Mandalorian Broja, is going to be made available for transfer from Chelsea in the upcoming window. Phew, thank goodness for that. In this video, I'm going to be arguing why West Ham should go back in for a player that David Moyes, not too long ago, considered to be his number 1 target for the number 9 shirt at West Ham. Yet that is wrong as well. It wasn't his number 1. Darwin Núñez was his number 1 target. It's actually not really the number 9 shirt, is it? Because Antonio's getting the number 9 shirt. Scamacca's got the number 7 shirt. Okay, but David Moyes is number 2 target for the number 99 shirt or whatever. Basically, David Moyes really wanted this player. I'm going to argue why we should go back in and get him. Before I do, got a bit of a public announcement to make. I'm going to move to one side, so as you can all see here, that wasn't me. That was the chair squeaking, by the way. Max has gone missing, and his owner is very, very worried. As I'm sure you would be. You can understand why. Since they got him, they've not seen an awful lot of him, I'm afraid to say. And he hasn't got an awful lot. Last time they saw him, I think it was the 1st of October. It was just after a football match against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Went missing about 26 minutes into that game. They're a bit worried. They've only been able to give him £1 million since they got him. He's out there. Skint, clearly. Injured. Got a cold or a broken finger or something like that. And they're very, very worried. So if you see him, you can approach him. He's very friendly. Very friendly. Probably buy a drink. Probably buy quite a lot. He's got minted, if you ask me. But anyway, please do contact West Ham United if you do see Max. Actually, did you see in there, by the way? Can you see his wrist is so injured that actually the ice, he doesn't even need the ice on it, basically. That was obviously really swollen, and then the ice shrunk it back up to normal size. Amazing. I'm joking. I'm just a joke. It's a joke, all right? It's just a joke. Actually, there is some news on Maxwell Cornet. Before we get into the Broja stuff, I'm going to talk about Broja. There is some news on Maxwell Cornet. So Claret and Hugh contacted their source, or one of the sources, to find out about Maxwell Cornet. So basically, Claret Hughes approached the club. Any news on Maxwell Cornet? This is standard stuff. This is what you will do. You will approach the club. Any injury news? Any of this? We were told this morning from a key source, Cornet's involvement will depend on whether or not he feels comfortable when he resumes training. Sorry, did you get that? Yeah. His involvement will depend on whether or not he feels comfortable when he resumes full training. Bless him. I mean, no, you don't worry. Don't worry, Maxwell. Can I call you Max? Don't worry. You worry about it. Relegation. Don't worry about the £1 million. You just come back when you're comfortable, darling. Don't you worry, love. You get yourself nice and comfy. In fact, hold on. There you go. You can even borrow them, my love. You get yourself nice and comfy. I've got a cold foot now. You get yourself nice and comfy. We look forward to him returning. I'm joking. He better be back for Fulham, right? Hopefully he is. By the way, I spoke about Cornet the other day. Somebody said, I like Cornet. I thought he looked quite promising when he played up front against Macca. So did I. I thought he looked really good. That's why I'm a bit annoyed about it. I'd buy another left winger. I'm just saying. If we do have any spare money, we might not be able to rely on this one. Hopefully we'll be back for the Fulham game. Right. Armando Broja. Okay. We wanted this player. He was the second choice. Scamacca was the third choice. That's absolutely fine. Funny enough, just going back to Cornet, I thought as a partnership he looked quite good with Scamacca. I don't think, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, that Antonio looks particularly good alongside Scamacca. I think it's a bit stinky. I think we might need to look for somebody else. Now, this is nothing new. I think we needed another striker anyway. because, well, things are a bit precarious. We can't score many goals. No, we can't defend. But, you know Moyes is going to buy another centre-back. He always does. Can't help himself. I was like heroin. A centre-back's like heroin to Moyes, honestly. So I think we need another striker anyway because we're struggling for goals. I was more than happy for Ben Brereton Diaz to come in, as you'll know. But Broja, well, this is different. I do think he's a very good player. He's got the real makings of a good quality. I mean, he's 20 or 21. He's nothing. He's a baby, big baby. Not like him, big baby, but you know, he's a big boy. That's what I'm saying. So I think he'll only improve, but I think he's got a lot to his game. I think he's closer to the ideal striker for Moyes than Scamacca is. I think he's more comfortable out wide. He's quicker, far quicker. Very, very quick. In fact, he's quicker than Antonio. Strong. He's got a lot of things. Scamacca drops deep, and I think he's pretty damn good at it, by the way. But he doesn't stretch behind the defence. This guy does. So my point is, I think he could play in a partnership with Scamacca. Scamacca's not going to play every game. We've already seen Scamacca be out for whatever it was, 3 or 4 games this season. I'm pretty sure it will happen again at some point. We want to stay up. But what you want if you buy a striker is you don't want Scamacca not to be able to play, so you want him to play alongside Scamacca, but you also want him to offer something else as well. What we can't go and do is buy a £50 million striker, because that is going to put Scamacca's nose out of joint. But there's some conditions to us buying Broja, and it's largely based upon Declan Rice. If you accept that he's leaving, and we accept that he's leaving, and we accept that Chelsea are interested in him, then it puts us in the driving seat, right? I think anyway. Because why would we sell him to Chelsea any more than anyone else? I think he's had a good World Cup, Rice. I think, as I mentioned before, I think particularly in that last game, he came out of it with flying colours against France. And there will be more than one club interested in him. If that's the case, then what can Chelsea offer us that other clubs can't? Well, that may well be players. And there are 2 players there in particular, one of them being Broja and one of them being Gallagher. But I wouldn't be valuing Broja at 30 million anymore. They had that chance. That ship has sailed. Quite frankly, I was surprised they mucked us around as much as they did. And I wouldn't, to such an extent, if it was me, because I hold grudges and I'm spiteful, because of the way I felt they sort of mucked us around a little bit in the summer, I wouldn't have done business with Chelsea over Declan Rice. However, if I would soften my stance slightly if I thought Broja was going to come back into the equation. But as I say, not at 30 million. Really not at 30 million. If they would chuck Broja and Gallagher in at 45 million as part of something like a £90 million deal, so basically get those players plus 45 million, I think it might be a deal worth doing. And can we have a refund on Emerson, please? Can we do that? Is that all right? Do you mind? Because that'd be good, wouldn't it? Because then we got the money back to actually buy another left back. Nothing wrong with Emerson at all, by the way. I just don't think he's exceptional at anything. We actually, myself and Gio compared him to a very particular meal deal in one of our Patreon videos, which I won't go into now, because we were going to do a video at some point comparing every player to a meal deal. Put it this way. Emerson wasn't the BLT with the Tropicana and the sweet chili sensations crisps. He wasn't that meal deal. Put it that way. So he's all right. He's a bit Magnolia, really. So he's a bit benign. He's a bit bland. He's a bit, He's a regular. He's a 5 or 6 out of 10 player, basically. So anyway, I'll take my money back for him. But I'll take Broja, I'll take Gallagher, and I'd take 45 million as well. I think Declan's going anyway. He really is. He really is. He's off. So what's that leave us with? It leaves us with some money to basically not only replace Declan Rice, but I'm not sure we'd have to do that, because here's the point: I dropped Paqueta back into central midfield. You know this if you watched any of my videos over the last couple of weeks. Paqueta goes back into central midfield. We keep Rice for the remainder of this season, which is what we were going to do anyway. But you say you sell us those players, and then whatever, you have the option on Rice, or whatever the case may be. That's the deal you do, because it's all about this season. Now, I am fully aware that there's plenty in this video that lots of people are going to disagree with, which is fine. I do want to make the point as well. A couple of people wrote back who disagreed with me about certain arguments, that's not what I consider to be trolling. All right, trolling is not someone providing the counter argument. If you want to provide a counter argument which says, actually, I don't think we should do that, I don't think we should get Broja because of A, B, and C, I don't think we should do business with Chelsea, I think we should sell him to whatever, Man City or whatever, that's not trolling, that's just a football conversation. That's fine. That wasn't what was happening the other day, just so we're clear. Anyway, those are my thoughts on it. I've got to say, the moment I heard that Broja was up for sale again, I thought, okay, this is good. Now, the thing that is hard to reconcile on this, and the thing that is hard to predict, is Graham Potter. Because if you look statistically, the last couple of games for Chelsea, Broja started up front. He's got a bit of a he's basically taken a knock to the knee. I don't think it's serious. I don't think it's like ACL or anything like that. But he started the last couple of games. But I have had a little look through the stats, and it does seem that when Aubameyang's fit or Kai Havertz is fit, that's who starts. It's hard to get a true barometer or a good cross-section of Graham Potter because he's only been there for 2 minutes. But it appears, I'm not sure that's going to be his guy, which means he's available, really. That being said, I'm not convinced that Graham Potter is going to be Chelsea's guy long-term. I may be wrong. I'm happy to be proved wrong. I'm not certain on it, like I was certain that Solskjaer would get the sack. Oh, that took a long time. I was certain that Gerrard would get the sack. I'm not certain that Potter will, because they brought so many of the staff over from Brighton. They might be a little bit more patient. But to put it this way, if Graham Potter wasn't at Chelsea in a year's time, I wouldn't be surprised. All right? Let's put it that way. So if this is going to get done, it needs to be done quickly before the next manager comes in. I'm not saying by the way, I'm not saying Graham Potter leaves Chelsea and comes to West Ham. That's not what I'm saying at all. We got more immediate fish to fry, which is not a saying at all. Anyway, there you go. Armando Mandalorian Broja to West Ham as part of the deal for Declan Rice. What say you? I know you're going to disagree.